We're finally gonna do this. We are going to do Rise of Bangtan, Chapter 11. I have been warned by a few of you that the next Rise of Bangtan is particularly emotional. So we're doing this, and we're doing this pajama party style. Why? Why am I doing this pajama party style? Why do I feel like if I'm gonna cry, pajama party somehow makes it better? Is it good to have a good I can't get that word out. Is it good to have a good cathartic cry before bedtime? I mean, I guess so. Like, let's hang out together. Let's braid each other's hair. Let's have snacks, and if we cry, we cry. And if we laugh, that's all the better too. I bought pajamas just for this. You know that I'm serious about doing this pajama party style because I'm wearing absolutely no makeup. Welcome to my skin. I also don't have any earrings on, and I feel rather naked, like crazy naked without earrings on. But yeah, I got pajamas for this. Hi. Purple jammies. What is up? I do not like boob pockets on anything. I can't stand shirts that have a boob pocket. This one has like a giant honkin', like it couldn't even be incognito. I don't like boob pockets. I mean, I get it. I'm old. I have a place to put my peepers so I can see better when I'm ready to go to sleep, but I've got some snacks ready. And so, you know, if you're grossed out by mukbangs or watching people eat mukbangs, mukbang, you know, I should look at how that's actually written in Hangul because I would know better how to pronounce it. We're gonna watch this. I'm a little nervous, can you tell? But let's be honest, I have cried a lot. I've cried. I not much shame in having done so either. Because it is what it is, whatever you feel. Good, bad, everything in between. It's what you feel. When you're watching something that, from people that are so moving to you, like literally the smallest thing. I mean, you know, I cry sometimes during the smallest things because they make me so happy. And then sometimes they really touch on something really deep. I have not been crying a lot in the last week or two. I kind of feel like maybe an energy blockage has happened within me based on the family death and just feeling overwhelmed with Map of the Soul tickets, with the UNGA stuff, with the Met, with just my mind is... People have warned me about this episode. What about this episode could be that jarring to me that it would make me cry in a way that I haven't already been moved to cry by them? Welcome to my snacks. I was going to drink kombucha for Mr. Bunny, except for it has sugar added to it. It's a pajama party. I don't want to be up all night. On that same note, I have 5 of the 7 gorgeous men on cold brew, but that makes me drinking coffee at 11 p.m. at night. I do have Zevia. No, I'm not sponsored by any of these people, but I love Zevia. It's really good. It's sugar-free. Totally gonna drink that. Izzy is really good, but it's also got the sugars. And then I've got snacks. Oh, these are called macaroni snacks. And I added some nutritional yeast to it because I really like nutritional yeast. It's called Korean macaroni shaped snack. And apparently I saw somewhere about how Jungkook enjoys chomping on these. I've been trying some foods. If you have any recommendations, let me know. Let's get into this. Any of you guys have tickets? Any of you guys have tickets? Am I gonna see any of you guys there? These are good, by the way. Dang. That was jamming. Okay. Anissa, you are talented. You have created something amazing. You and your support team. I don't know who they are. I don't know who all is involved and how, but thank you for what you create. Is this Jimin? Is this the Jimin V Live?
잘 안 돼. 하는 것만큼 잘 안 돼. 뭐 어쩌겠는가 해야지. 그래 좀 힘들었던 건 사실인 것 같아. 근데 그것보다는 내가 하고 싶다는 마음이 더 커서 이렇게 계속 할 수 있는 거.
Gotta love them. Damn. Damn.
지금 다시 봤는데?
사람들이 생각하는
Why is watching them practice so
감동을 받을
beautiful?
수 있는 그런 노래, 마음을 움직이는 노래 같은 걸 나도.
Jimin, you have no idea.
그렇다. 2016년
Oh, here comes the intro.
25일.
The intros are always so damn good. I love a good intro. How can human beings be that beautiful? How?
깜짝이야.
I'm dropping food on myself, yuck. No.
이 아메리카노를 드시려나? 드시겠지, 어린이시니까? 내가 사놔야지. 아메리카노 2잔 주세요.
Oh, his voice. Oh, I've seen this, haven't I? I feel like I've seen this somewhere else. Maybe not. No, I haven't seen this. I don't know about.
과자 역시 다 먹겠습니다.
I love him. He's like a kid.
안녕하십니까? 오, 안녕. 안녕하세요. 나 마중 나온 거야? 와. 네. 들어갈까? 커피 사놨거든요. 아, 진짜? 아이스. 네, 아이스. 좋아. 기다리고 있었어? 네. 왜? 아니, 과자를, 팬분들이 주셔가지고. 투 정국 밥 잘 챙겨 먹고 배고프면 이거 드세요. 지영이가. 네. 지영 하나 먹었다 내가. 몇 년 차지 이제? 저 이제 3년 차입니다. 헬스는 4년 차인 것 같아요. 네. 해보니까 어때? 처음에는 이제 막 쫓기는 방향으로 좀 정신없이 했다가 이제 좀 시간이 지나니까.
이 많은 인원은 어디서 나온 건가요?
저희의 동생의 친구의 지인의 지인분들, 고마우신 분들, 이분들이 같이 해줘서 더 멋진 무대가 될 거예요. 와우, 덥겠다 진짜. 외국에서도 차트 엄청.
네, 다행히 동영상 사이트에서도 조회수가 좋고 또 이제 해외 이제 음원 사이트에서도 순위가 좋아서 한 주 활동하는 거가 아쉽지 않을 만큼 한 주 활동할 때 정말 다 보여드려야겠다는 생각이 드네요.
Oh, you can hear Young Forever in the background.
안녕하세요.
오케이, 가요.
알아가면서 좀 하다 보니까.
That mix ain't fire though.
Just want to state that this many years ago, when was this? 4 years ago? I didn't know who BTS was. I didn't know what the reaction community was. The only reaction videos I knew existed were like when my husband would watch UFC fights and he would try to pull up and see if anybody posted it on YouTube, and people would title it the name of the UFC fight, but it would just be a reaction video. And we were like, why would anybody watch a reaction video? And then I realized I needed friends who understood my adoration for Bangtan, and here we are. Who are these people? How do they know? How did people know who BTS was, especially early in their career? I'm in love and envious in many ways to all of you, even though there's perks to being a young ARMY. Look how happy these people were. They've had years to be happy with this. I'm happy now. I hope you're happy now too, with Bangtan in your life. It's so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Cry a little.
Oh, this is so awesome. Wait, they're reacting to the comeback stage, aren't they?
Like this, because this is my first time listening to it and I'm obsessed.
I've never even seen this. This is not the video. It's the stages.
Okay, so they're doing the kind of trap hip hop thing, but it's got a lot else in it. It's got some like hard EDM influence too. This is actually
That's the
really
stuff
cool.
I have a brother really into music. And he commented the trap, rap, hip hop. Ah! Damn! Seriously? Every time I'm like,
Yo, it's fire.
This is so much more intense than American music.
NSYNC should be really happy that this came way after.
There you go.
I about blew snot out of my face.
화양 연화는 저희가 청춘에 대해서 얘기를 했죠. 그리고 불안한 현실에 대해서도 얘기를 했었고, 그 속에서도 굴복하지
Damn, they're
않고
beautiful.
달려나가는 청춘에 대해서
Inside and
이번에는
out.
정말 그런 것에 너무 연연하지 않고 싹 다 불태우고 우리
Okay, wait.
멋지게 돌아보자.
I'm scared I'm gonna get into K-pop.
Anytime Namjoon talks, you gotta back it up.
화양 연화는 저희가 청춘에 대해서 얘기를 했죠. 그리고 불안한 현실에 대해서도 얘기를 했었고, 그 속에서도 굴복하지 않고 또 달려나가는 청춘에 대해서 얘기했고, 이번에는 정말 그런 것에 너무
And
연연하지
now we
않고
decided to let all
싹
these
다
things
불태우고
go,
우리 한번
burn it all down and
멋지게
party hard.
돌아보자.
I'm scared I'm gonna get into K-pop.
Ah, put your tongue back in your mouth. Did you see that? Giving eyes and tongue and... What was this performance that everybody was watching? What? I'm
BTS. That just blew my mind.
Were they all reacting to this performance or to the music video?
If BTS wasn't like really huge before this song came out, then I could see like how this could have caused like a big like eruption.
And it's such a shame that because of the language, people are like, oh, I hate this. It's so bad. But if they just listen to the music.
I would go see these guys.
Okay, so I am Generation Radio. I'm somewhere between Gen X and whatever came after X, millennials. I am Gen Radio. I grew up listening to the radio. If you were lucky, you had a dual tape deck on your stereo at home, and you would call your radio station, your local radio station. You would request the song you wanted to hear, which of course, didn't know at the time. It's because we were being fed what we wanted to listen to. So like, oh, I've only heard New Kids on the Block 18 times today. Well, I haven't in 45 minutes. Let me call and ask for that. Then you have your finger. As it switches from one song to the next, you have your finger on the record button and you hit record and play at the same time in order to record your favorite songs. Then everybody moved on, got into CDs, and then after CDs, everybody got into MP3s, and I didn't really get into, I went through like a brief Napster phase. Since then, I've been all radio. Radio in my car, listening to Pandora, like just their genre stations, whatever, pop, for years. As an adult, this is what I've listened to. And this, why didn't this ever come, we know why. We know why. Okay.
Like, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I think that would be a party. That'd be raving.
It's like being introduced to BTS all over again.
BTS's new name is Boys That Slay.
That's a notification on my phone.
신기해요, 지금 이 상황이. 하다 보면 그런 거야. 나도 예전에 서태지와 아이들 알아? 네. 나 서태지와 아이들 열렬한 팬이어가지고 보자마자 사인 받았었거든. 사인 받고 있을 때. 그때 나도 19살 막 이럴 때였는데 신기했지. 아, 저 제가 아니고 그렇습니다. 좀 신기하네. 네. 97년생이라고. 네, 97년생. 97년에 나는 되게 초반에 SM 계약해가지고 연습생으로 있었지. 너무 날 차이가 많이 났네. 네. 데뷔 18년.
Does not look like a large age gap.
와, 그게 지금 좀 신기했어요. 뭔가 오래 가는, 그지?
The longest active boy group comes in at a little over 20 years with boy group Shinhwa. Shinhwa debuted in 1998, and fortunately, they stayed as a complete boy group with no member changes. If you're new to K-pop, you might have not heard of the 7-year curse. The 7-year curse is one of those K-pop myths or urban legends that tend to circulate around the community when it's close to an idol group to renew their contracts with their respective companies. In Korea, the standard entertainer's contract is 7 years starting from the day of debut. The terms of the contract were placed by the government to be fair to both the agency and their performers. The 7-year curse is the unlucky 7th year of a group where a member usually tends to leave their group or lead to a group's disbandment. It's an unfortunate cycle that our favorite groups disband or member leaves only to debut new groups and start the cycle all over again.
Didn't some girl group just break up a couple, 3 months ago? It was like a big deal, but then there was a whole, they couldn't take their name with them if they went somewhere else, or maybe I'm making all that up. I probably don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, sorry.
어렸을 때 우리도 뭐 연습생 시절부터 쭉 왔기 때문에 숙소 생활하면서 데뷔해가지고 계속 이제 우리도 막 정신없이 너처럼 한 3, 4년간 막 이렇게 정말 너무 기계처럼 걸었어요. 왜 우리도 안 싸웠겠어? 그렇게 다퉈가면서 싸워가면서 서로를 알아가더라고. 성향도 알아가고 성격도 알아가면서 계약 시점에서도 서로 이제 다 오픈을 하고 다 얘기했어. 회사에서 뭐 이런 얘기를 했었고 뭐 이런.
Do any of you listen to Shinhwa?
우리가 어찌됐건 찢어놓을 것 같은 분위기가 올 것 같아서 그거 좀 막고 싶어서. 왜냐면 이걸 놓치기가 싫었거든. 한번 고비를 막. 그게 이제 그거야. 욕심. 개인적인 욕심 때문에 또 왜 굉장히 지금 대박을 쳤잖아. 그래서 내일도 자기만 생각해서 연기를 하는 게 아니라 자기가 잘해야지 신화가 잘 된다는 생각을 하는.
Wow. That's hard and rare, especially the more people. 민수가 아게스티.
덥다. 안녕하세요 여러분들. 저희 믹스테이프 아거스트 D 촬영 현장입니다.
Damn.
손을 못 쓰니까 습장이 되게 넓은데 컨테이너 하나만 있습니다. 시계차로 컨테이너를 흔드는 장면이 있습니다. 너무나 힘들다. 쉴 수가 없어.
I love
너무나 안 되는데.
Suga is so
쉴 수가 없어.
little meow meow
걱정이 되지만 파이팅을 해서.
between scenes of being a badass.
파이팅.
that right there. Hold on. Back it up, baby. His face.
너무나 힘들다. 쉴 수가 없어. 너무나 안 되는데. 쉴 수가 없어. 걱정이 되지만 파이팅을 해서 촬영도 좋았어.
Here comes.
파이팅.
액션.
I've never watched this video. It's like me with Jimin videos. I'm a little afraid.
뭐 그런 형식도 있고 사실 뭐 같은 사람인지라 뭐 완전히 제 가치관이 막 달라지거나 갑자기 막 저의 뭐 머릿속이 갑자기 바뀌는 그런 경우는 없고.
I just want to back up and read his lyrics again. I love this man.
갑자기 막 저의 뭐 머릿속이 갑자기 바뀌는 그런 경우는 없고. 그냥 다른 모습들, 다른 색깔을 보여주려고 정말 노력을 하는 것 같아요. 특히 외부 작업 같은 경우는.
Damn, he can rap.
그렇습니다. 제가 항상 욕심이 많고 뭔가 완벽해지고 있다는 강박관념 때문에 굉장히 힘들었었는데 누군가 그 이야기를 해주더라고요. 완벽을 추구하면 완벽한 사람이 될 수 없다. 네가 욕심을 내면 낼수록 너만 힘들어질 거다라는 말씀을 해주셨는데 맞습니다.
잘 나가는 아이돌 래퍼 그 이면에 나 약한 자신이 있어 조금 위험해 우울증
This song.
뭐 10대를 거쳐서 지금 20대 초반이지만 개인적으로 뭔가 고민도 많았고 생각도 굉장히 많았었어요. 저 10대 그리고 20대 초반인 지금까지.
자기 혐오와 다시 놀러 와버린 우울증 덕분에 이미 민연기는 죽었어.
제 이야기를 풀어낸 가사이기도 하고.
선생님이 내게 물었어. 주저없이 나는 말했어. 그런 적 있다고 그때는 성공이다 보상할 줄 알았지. 근데 말해 시간이 지날수록 괴물이 된 기분이야.
God, the editing in this.
괴물은 더큰 부러워 내 무기였던 욕심이 때려 날 집어삼키고 망치면 때려 목줄을 걸어. 어떤 이들은 내
그러니까 이제 마지막으로 이제 저희 방탄소년단과 이 슈가가 아이돌이지만 한 단계 위로 뭔가 넥스트 레벨로 이사 가고 싶다.
You know, anytime I've heard Yoongi talking about like just the pain and misery that he experienced, what he's been through. And I mean, just like on a surface level, because he's not telling us the depths of why he struggles with whatever he struggled with when the depression comes in, because, and then that's kind of here nor there. People just try to fix stuff. If you tell them what you're feeling when you're depressed, often they just start trying to fix stuff, which makes things worse. That's a whole other thing. To know how much he's struggled and been open about that, thank the Lord, because that's rare. But then that they all have really struggled also. Do I have a kid awake? On that note, hold that thought. How dark will it be if I actually turn some lights off? Since we're doing a pajama party, I meant to turn the lights off already. So yeah, hearing Yoongi talk about like the levels of unhappiness that he's experienced. And then to see him happy now, like to see in 2021 how just vibrantly alive that man looks. How, I mean, his smile has always been special, but he is just radiant, man, right now. It feels good. It feels good too. It feels good to be happy, and it feels good to see them happy. It never lasts forever, but God, it's good when it's happening.
소리 갑자기 급작하게 커지고 제 목소리랑 다른 친구들 목소리가 안 들려서 저희도 딱 살짝 그 시기인 것 같아요. 뭔가 선배님들처럼 뭔가 앓고 있고 막 혼자 생각하고 있고 안 그러고 저희도 다 얘기하거든요. 그 모티브는 롤 모델이라고 생각하면 좀 신한 선배님들이 뭔가 진짜 오래 가시고 하다 보니까 뭔가 딱 그렇게 방향을 잡고 저희도 좀 나아가고 있는 것 같긴 해요.
여러분 안녕하세요.
저희 지금 무대 올라가기 전입니다.
저희 파리에 왔어요.
그러니까.
K-콘에 이제 초대받게 되어서 이렇게 파리에.
야 나도 한번 라이브 한 게 나도 한번 나오자. 한번 나와도 괜찮지 않겠냐? 그럼 한번 나와주자. 와 내가.
종국이 온다. 종국이 온다.
안녕하세요.
Merci beaucoup.
하지마.
네 맞아요. 저희 공연 잘하고 올게요.
파이팅.
Merci beaucoup.
Are you guys ready for BTS?
Yeah!
Are you guys ready for BTS?
I mean, my daughter's already awake, right?
Let's go! Let's say, watch it, sexy, Molly, Tracy.
많이 보고 싶었어요? 내가 더.
I'm only sad about the LA trip that I haven't learned very much Korean yet, especially not listening to a fluent native speaking. They're gonna say so many funny and heartfelt things, and I'm not gonna understand anything. And I'm still gonna be crying and happy. My goal is to be able to know enough Korean fluently that one day when I see them, that I'll understand what they're saying, and that if I ever get a chance to meet them, that I will be able to tell them how I feel. And Helen, I love you. You commented when I asked what would you say if you guys had a chance to actually meet BTS, and you said you were of a different culture and mindset than to, and I agree. Please, if you are watching here, if you see the guys in person, we need to give them their space. Let's not be the people that like run over to them to like, let's just let them live. Let's let them live and walk by and enjoy their life and blow a kiss, do a heart, put your hand on your heart, something, and keep trucking. But I mean, like, you know, when I've seen before the fan meet and greet things where of course they're meeting hundreds of people a day. But I love the idea of going to one of those just so I could one by one see their face and tell them one thing that they've given me. One thing that you in particular have given me. Not just BTS as a band, but Namjoon, here's one thing that you have given me. Thank you, I love you. Jin, here's one thing, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, sorry. I'm not gonna understand them.
이건 상상이야 이건 상상이야 너는 다른 조금만 더 아우그라지 너는 손만져 너는 어려
우와 끝내 말했어. 우와 나 진짜 재밌는가 봐요.
죽음의 비선을 넘겼다.
Guys, this has not been an emotional. It's wonderful, but this has not been an emotional. Did I get wrong? Which Rise of Bangtan to watch out for? Look at Namjoon! Look at Namjoon! Oh my god, that was so cute, I can't handle it. They're all so cute, but look at Namjoon right here. He's like, what are we doing? The intensity of their faces is so good. I mean, that's always true.
신화를 놓지 못한 이유 중에 하나가 또 팬들도 있어. 신화 우리가 이걸 놓으면 팬들도 얼마나 혼돈스럽고 얼마나 슬프고 그리고 영원히 하겠습니다. 뭐 끝까지 가겠습니다. 말로 뱉어서 나중에 현실로 이렇게 이루어질 수 없. 그게 너무 싫어서 최대한 지금은 이제 우리 같은 경우에 우리가 지키고 있고 계속 하고 있고 이런 거에 되게 감사하고 사실 너무 감사하고 너무 고맙고 사실 만나서 뭐 할까 고민하다가 그냥 정국이를 리드를 해야 될 것 같아서 내가 왜냐면 정국이가 형을 많이
Okay, I'm gonna back up a little bit because what he was saying about being protective of their fans, I just want to make sure I understand it right.
신화를 놓지 못한 이유 중에 하나가 또 팬들도 있어. 신화 우리가 이걸 놓으면 팬들도 얼마나 혼돈스럽고 얼마나 슬프고 그리고 영원히 하겠습니다. 뭐 끝까지 가겠습니다. 말로
You know, I've pondered this sometimes before. Do you think that we as ARMY put a pressure on the guys? Do you think there's a chance that the guys are sort of, not now, but do you think they feel a pressure to continue living a life? How many decisions do you think they make for ARMY? I mean, that's part of being a public figure, but also ultimately we just really want them happy, right? And I know a lot of ARMY have discussed at times what it will be like when the guys fall in love and decide to start families. And what will that mean for the band? Will they be the Beatles? But at the same time, we want to withhold them from having normal lives and families. I don't know anything about Shinhwa. They're older, evidently, which I didn't know. I'm sure some of them are married. I mean, they're past the point of being controlled by a label, correct? Again, I don't know anything about this gentleman or anyone else from Shinhwa. I will be looking them up now, though. I want to understand them better. Especially since it seems like they helped pave the way.
지키고 있고 계속 하고 있고 이런 거에 되게 감사하고 사실 너무 감사하고 너무 고맙고 사실 만나서 뭐 할까 고민하다가 그냥 정국이를 리드를 해야 될 것 같아서 내가.
Does anyone know if they still have a relationship?
형을 많이 이제 어려할까 봐 어색한 거 없애기 위해서 내가 좀 리드해서 해서 좀 이렇게 좀 서로 좀 얘기 좀 하다가 어떻게 좀 마음이 좀 편해졌어?
뭔가 좀 오늘 뭔가 되게 많이 알아가는 것 같아요.
지금까지 3년
I
동안
hope they still have
여기저기 있게끔 해주신 회사분들이
a relationship.
여러분들에게 편지를 직접 손편지로
진짜 대박이야 진짜.
Oh, that's sweet.
여러분 대장 방시혁 PD님께서
God, they're cute. Look at how
손편지예요?
precious these men are.
진짜 길어.
석진, 윤기, 남준, 호섭, 지민, 재영 그리고 정국에게.
Oh,
처음 만났을 때
Anissa.
너희
The editing. Are you trying to kill us? Is this where I'm gonna fall apart? Because you layer amazing music over something powerful, and then it's.
만난 시기는 모두 잘하지만 다들 무언가 겁에 질려 있어.
Oh.
그런 너희들을 나는 참 많이도 다그쳤던 것 같다.
I'm gonna back up here because I keep pausing, but just look. So I just recently heard that like P-Dog, apparently the guys sometimes refer to him as the 8th member of BTS, which is P-Dog, right? Which is super special also and makes me elated. I've always thought of Bang as the 8th member, and perhaps he's just like the giant mama hen who's got all of them under his wing. I love their relationship. Okay, I'm gonna back up and I'm gonna shut up so we can take this in.
여러분 대장 방시혁 PD님께서
Look how in shock they look though.
진짜요? 손편지예요?
And why is Sugar wearing that robe and looking so hot?
석진, 윤기, 남준, 호섭, 지민, 재영 그리고 정국에게. 처음 만났을 때 너희들은 모두 정말 어렸더랬지. 만난 시기는 모두 잘하지만 다들 무언가 겁에 질려 있어. 그런 너희들을 나는 참 많이도 다그쳤던 것 같다. 왜 자신을 믿지 못하냐고, 왜 더 멀리를 보려 하지 않는 거냐며 몰아세웠고, 다들 내가 가리키는 곳이 너무 멀고 막막해서 잠을 설친 기억이 있을 거야.
여러분 다들
That's so powerful. I have to keep pulling back.
만난 시기는 모두 잘하지만 다들 무언가 겁에 질려 있어. 그런 너희들을 나는 참 많이도 다그쳤던 것 같다. 왜 자신을 믿지 못하냐고, 왜 더 멀리를 보려 하지 않는 거냐며 몰아세웠고, 다들 내가 가리키는 곳이 너무 멀고 막막해서 잠을 설친 기억이 있을 거야.
여러분 다들 아미밤 한번 높이 들어보세요.
그래도 너희는 항상 어떻게든 길을 찾아내줬어. 내가 가리킨 곳보다 항상 더 높게 뛰어올랐고 더 멀리 솟았죠.
그리고 이제 나는 한 걸음 뒤에서 너희들이 나아가는 모습을 바라본다. 이제는 내가 손가락을 들어 어딘가를 가리킬 필요조차 없어졌으니까.
이 자꾸 이 화양연화 시리즈가 뭐길래 자꾸 이게 우리를 자꾸 울컥하게 만들고, 저희 뒤에 가면 이런 얘기 잘 안 해서
너희와 함께 걸으면 어느 순간 깨달아.
태영이,
Look at his smile, bro.
석진이 형, 정국이, 남준이 형, 호석이 형, 우리 멤버들한테 제일 감사한 것 같아요.
너희의 불안함이 절실함이 다른 얼굴이라는 것을, 너희의 불안함이 절실함의 다른 얼굴이라는 것을.
That's one to remember.
그것이 너희를 밤새워 연습하게 하고 끝까지 한계를 넘어서까지 스스로를 지독하게 밀어붙였다는 거지.
진짜 시작할 때부터 부족한 거 많고 되게 보잘것없고 되게 아무것도 없는 저였는데, 우리 멤버들이 저 도와주고 이끌어주고 해서 되게 여기까지 올 수 있었고, 우리 멤버들 덕분에 정말 행복이란 걸 느끼는 것 같습니다. 우리 멤버들 진짜 멋있어요, 진짜. 여러분 방탄 멋있죠?
너희는 자신들의 힘으로 자신들의 길을 찾아 날아가고 있으니까. 그리고 내가 감히 바랄 수도 없었던 곳을 넘어서고 있으니까. 소름이었어.
Seriously.
복잡한 감정 속에서 삶의 사선비에 썩여 지린 난도 못 잊혀볼래. 처음도 아닌데 익숙해질 법한데 숨기려 해도 그게 안돼. 텅 빈 무대가 실격할 때 빈객석을 뒤로
이쁘고 많은 아미분들 앞에서 공연을 해주게 해줘서
Oh, Cookie.
공연장에서 공연하게 해주셔서 정말 감사합니다. 여러분들의 영원한 가수가 되고 싶습니다.
그래서 고맙다. 되게 말하는 말을 아직 아껴둘게. 말은 언젠가 세계 최고의 그룹이 되는 날. 그날 너희 한 명 한 명의 눈을 맞추면서 꼭 내 이름을 직접 말해줄게. 함께 해줘서 고맙고 여기까지 데려와줘서 꿈꾸게 해줘서 고맙고.
영원한 관객은 없대도 난 노래할 거야. 오늘의 나로 영원하고 영원히 소년이고 싶어 나.
화양연화라는 키워드는 정말 그전엔 아무 의미 없는 벌써 1년 만에 저희 가수 방탄소년단에게도 또 이렇게 평범한 20대 7명에게도 큰 의미가 되었습니다. 많은 편지를 읽으면 항상 저희가 여러분의 삶에 끼치고 있는 영향이 많다는 편지를 받아요. 저희 가사 때문에 혹은 저희 말들, 저희 공연 때문에. 근데 그만큼 저희도 여러분들을 너무 많이 생각하면서 항상 여러분의 눈과 귀와 말들에 아주 삶에 큰 영향을 받고 있습니다.
성공들이 많은데 저희도 지금 여기서 여러분이 이렇게 저희 이해해주시고 좋아해주시고 같이 진심으로 반응해주시는 지금이 뭐 화양연화하고 척수 아니겠습니까?
오늘 이 시간 그리고 여태까지 우리 1년 동안 함께했던 그 화양연화가 여러분들이 돌아봤을 때 여러분들의 화양연화를 여러분들 마음속에서 만들 때 꼭 작은 퍼즐 한 조각이 될 수 있기를 바랍니다. 저희는 지금까지 화양연화의 방탄소년단이었습니다. 둘, 셋.
감사합니다.
방탄소년단 섭재경 있어 축하해.
I'm so proud of them. I'm so happy they're surrounded by so much love.
방탄소년단 영원히 화양연화 사랑해. 방탄소년단 화양연화 스테이크 애플로저 화이팅!
제가 이렇게 되기까지 너무 멤버들과 여기 계신 분들과 회사와 부모님과 너무너무 많은 분들이 계셨기 때문에 그래서 앞으로도 제가 그 은혜에 보답할 수 있는 길은 좀 더 멋있게 세심하게 좋은 음악 만들어서 여러분께 들려드리고 항상 제 진심을 이렇게 공연으로 또 보여드리고 그럴 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 정말 감사하고 사랑합니다. 감사합니다.
네, 여기까지 하겠습니다.
That was precious.
우리 남준아, 지금 이 아름다운 이 순간의 끝에는 뭐가 있을까?
그러니까 솔직히 말해서 박수를 많이 받고 싶다. 가수 하려고 태어난 사람한테.
이제 시작이라고 생각한다.
음악을 믿고 들을 수 있는 팀, 믿고 볼 수 있는 팀, 그런 어떤 믿고 보는, 믿고 듣는 방탄소년단? 그게 제일 제가 갖고 싶은 거.
아미 사랑해요. 아미 I love you.
오, 방탄소년단 집중탐구 온몸을 다해 부르.
I'm gonna pause this because we're like right there at the end of all that like hella emotional stuff. I cry out of the feeling of connection, you know, and I did not anticipate that as I was going into tonight. I had been warned this was an emotional episode, and I guess I had myself sort of braced for the concept of sadness, right? Because often people are like, oh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna cry. You're expecting tragedy, and maybe that's just because we're desensitized. We are so slammed with in-our-face entertainment shock value. We're like, you have to be watching The Walking Dead and Daryl has to shoot a child in order for us to like feel and fall apart. I mean, just ridiculously, you know, just, oh my gosh. So when people start to tell me, oh, you're gonna cry, of course, I start thinking it's gonna be absolutely tragic somehow. But I mean, really, isn't this sort of tragic? Isn't this sort of tragic that we spend our lives doubting ourselves, not believing in ourselves, not reaching for things, not even questioning what we want, much less how to reach for it. And we tend to just allow people in our lives and not question who they are, what they're striving toward, and if they really belong in our lives or not. We tend to just like, oh, well, they're kind of funny, they're a fun person, and they're here. And then when the relationships fall apart, we find ourselves often shocked that it didn't work out when honestly we didn't exactly belong together anyhow, and you didn't have each other deep in each other's hearts, and you in the end weren't heard, you weren't listening. I'm rambling now, like worse than I usually do, I feel like. What these men have found in each other and built in each other, and apparently Shinhwa too, and I need to look them up more because as corny as it sounds, like I love Bangtan's music, but their music isn't just about great lyrics, which they are, and it isn't just about great voices, which it is, and it isn't just about a great melody, which it is. There's something about them as individuals and who they are, who they've become, who are they becoming, and something about the 7 of them together, intertwined, their connection that speaks through their voices, speaks through the song. And on top of that, you know, when oh my God, I'm gonna cry. when I found them about a year ago, the first month or so, because it was around September, I found Dynamite and listened only to Dynamite, and then I listened to some of their other songs and watched some music videos, a few. Was very fascinated by them and drawn to them, but I couldn't quite pinpoint it. And then when I just let their music absorb into me, I felt like they were singing to me. And I've said before, I had no idea what they were saying other than the occasional English phrase that they put in their songs. And yet I felt like they were singing to me. And I didn't know what ARMY was. I had no clue that their fandom even had a name. In fact, when I did hear their fandom had a name, I thought that sounded ridiculous and thought, well, only teen girls would call themselves a fandom name. And I just had a lot of judgments in my head about it. And even then, even when I learned what ARMY was, and that ARMY is the fan base of BTS that really likes them, I didn't realize it was a relationship. But there's something so special about them and when they sing, and I let their music absorb into every part of me. It's not just that they had pretty voices. It's not just that I was like, ooh, listening to another language is fun. That I wasn't staying alive for that. Like, I've heard pretty voices before, and I've heard foreign languages before. This is not enough to keep somebody off of the ledge. I felt like they were singing to me. I felt like they were singing for me to stay. And not from a place of desperation. Something about their songs was like this air of belief and hope. I just remember listening in certain songs and certain sounds. I just thought, this feels like magic. And I don't understand it at all, but I'm desperate for it because I felt like they were handing it to me. I'm often at a loss for words for what that experience was like. I was begging people to connect with me before that day. And I see now that that wasn't their fault. You can't force a connection. You can't create connection. I mean, you can do things to foster a connection or to foster keeping a connection, but you can't force connection to happen. And it's not anyone's fault. I was with incompatible people in my life and around me, and the person I had really stopped connecting with was myself. And they sang to me and told me that connections still exist. And then when I found ARMY and figured out, learned that they have this relationship with ARMY. And I know for people who aren't ARMY, they think that 1, ARMY are delusional, and B, that BTS makes this crap up. just to sell albums and concert tickets to delusional dumbasses. But it's not that. And you know, I don't care. I don't care that people think I'm a delusional dumbass. It's funny, I am offended people think BTS are fraudulent with their feelings toward ARMY. Because of course, I believe in these guys and I believe in their genuine nature and I believe in their souls. I believe in who they are. I do trust them. I trust myself now. Once you're ARMY and you start going down the rabbit hole and you learn about them and you see what things they've been through, you know how perhaps unheard they've been over the years. And they open those doors within themselves and to each other. They've chosen the people in their lives with great intention and care. And they have worked hard to foster connection and to have that with ARMY. Why am I still talking? Why am I still talking? That's really special. And I'm so thankful to feel connection again in myself and to feel connection with many of you. But I'm so thankful. I want them to have that forever with each other and with ARMY. And sincerely, I hope that 30, 40 years from now that I'm still alive and that they're still alive and together and performing somewhere together, because I will be there. I will be there then. The crowds will not always be this huge. Then again, maybe Rolling Stones have managed to stay around forever. Oh my gosh. I'm just imagining the carnage of trying to get tickets this week and being 80 and then being a 50-year-old band and that kind of carnage still for stadium tickets. Okay, sorry. All right. I talked too long. Let's laugh. Anissa always makes us laugh at the end.
오, 방탄소년단 집중탐구 온몸을 다해 볼골 리액션을 보여주세요.
That's not explosive. That's electrocution. Oh my god. Jungkook so committed. Look at that. And again. Please just watch. I mean, obviously we have to watch Jungkook and me. Look! Jungkook always totally commits. Everything he does. Oh, that was what she saw.
화질에 정말 이 정도면 굉장히 잘생긴 거 아닌가?
Ooh. Why did I just feel like I'm gonna catch a hat? I just got that. I'm slow. Oh. Alright, this is J-Hope with his nose flute. Get sugar in his face. I love this remix. This might be my favorite remix of any of the remixes ever, except for the sexy, sexy Permission to Dance remix. Okay. I just babbled a whole lot, so I'm not gonna babble any further about connection, because I think I said everything I possibly could. I know a lot of us feel lonely, and that's a recurring theme that we talk about here, because I think it's just something we understand. And weirdly, becoming ARMY makes you feel simultaneously split in half. We are living the concept of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Suddenly we are feeling so vibrant and alive and connected to people who we've never actually met in person and don't know us by name, but we feel heard and seen and loved and protected in a way that we also mirror right back to them. We want to just smother them in that type of love. We feel such divine connection, and then we feel so wildly isolated and alone, perhaps more than ever, because suddenly as an ARMY, when you start to feel all those good things, it really exposes where you're lacking it in other relationships that you may have and other parts of your life. It's very unpleasant. And then it's only made worse if you talk about loving Bangtan and boom, people start ridiculing you for it, especially if it's people who are supposed to love you and do love you as best they know how. But where's the connection? Why are they quick to judge you and dismiss you and try to make you feel bad for something so wonderful that brings you love and inspiration, as opposed to them just being like, wow, that's really great that moves you. If you told them that you love Van Gogh and that you wanted to surround yourself with Van Gogh's work and that you wanted to study Van Gogh's life and have books on Van Gogh because his art moved you, they wouldn't call you crazy and delusional. They would tell you, yay, I'm glad you found something fun and wonderful and oh my goodness, that's so educational and you're gonna learn so much. And if you become like a sports fan, great, yay, how much fun. Like everybody's gonna have a good time and, you know, pass the drinks around and hang up your football flag and scream at the TV for hours on end and pay a lot of money to go to a stadium and see them play. And wow. I mean, think about that. If you became a sports fan, whether it's like, you know, European football, I should say just football, or American football, people start buying you paraphernalia for it and they're largely pretty excited for you and hope you make friends and start hanging out at the local pub with other people who are really into it and watch the games together, and they go around telling all their friends and their coworkers like, oh, my mom's really badass, man. She like every Sunday she gears up for the football game. But you fall in love with Korean culture and 7 artists who pour their soul into what they do, and suddenly we're crazy and delusional and they want to give us a hard time for it and make us feel bad, which only makes us want to spend less time with the people who we love in our everyday life anyway. And just know that I love you. I do have a request. If you're still here right now, and I'm gonna start requesting this in several videos, if you leave a comment, especially if you have left comments before, like if you're kind of a regular, tell me your name. Because a lot of you don't actually use your name, and for a couple reasons, I really would just like to know your name, whether it's a first name or a full name or a nickname or the name that you wish you went by. Let me know, like FY. FY, you always leave wonderful comments. I don't know if FY stands for your name or if FY stands for being sassy. I'm so thankful for relationships that I'm getting to know you guys through, and I want names. Please give me your names, please. And thank you. Don't let anybody lie to you. This is your real life too. Having a connection, like yes, there's such thing as parasocial relationships, but that said, having a connection with yourself and having a connection with other people online, if you're making friends on Twitter or YouTube or through music, that is still your real life. So I don't use the phrase in my real life, blah, 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 because you are also my real life and BTS is also my real life. Anyhow, I love you. God loves you. BTS loves you. They want you to love yourself. I want you to love yourself. Please do something today to try to love yourself. And I will talk with you very soon, like 24 hours from now, because I'm looking at deleted scenes right there. And I'm about to hit play.